Down to the D. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag, and it's wonderful to have you along for the ride. Watched Marquise Hollywood Brown do an interview yesterday with the Speakeasy program. I love the athletes. Just an aside. Sorry to start out with this, but just as an aside, I as someone who should hate, and I know a lot of people in the media don't like the athletes can interview themselves nowadays. I love it. I feel like they're a lot more comfortable. They'll give maybe more information than they would somebody else. There's kind of a trust factor there. But just for the love of God, when you ask a guest a question, just let him talk, man. Just let the guy let the guy cook, right? Yesterday, Marquise Hollywood Brown is asked about why come to the Eagles, why play with Jalen Hurts. He's played with Lamar Jackson. He's played with Patrick Mahomes. Why come here to Philadelphia and, do you have confidence in your quarterback? The question was actually posed pretty well when it came to, I think it was Emmanuel Acho that asked the question. You're putting your future in the hands of Jalen Hurts. And Hollywood Brown was more or less like, hell yeah, I'm doing that. One of the top vertical throwers in the NFL. And when it comes to getting it done, Jalen Hurts gets it done. That is the best endorsement I've heard of Jalen Hurts in a very long time. For a guy that shouldn't need that many endorsements, being that he's played in 2 Super Bowls, he's already won a Super Bowl, and he's... Again, any offensive coordinator that doesn't draw their plays up in crayon, they become a head coach after working with Jalen Hurts. Funny how that works. But yet, here we are. Oh, man, is Jalen Hurts the guy? Oh, Jalen Hurts has a short leash. A guy literally just signed here because of the great deep ball that the quarterback throws. And it's still said by a lot of people that Jalen Hurts can't throw the deep ball. Look. And I hate that he has to do this, and I get that in the NFL and professional sports in general, there might be a couple of people that are grandfathered in no matter what, in terms of they could do no wrong, and if they do wrong, you just know they're going to do right very soon and for another extended period of time before they do wrong again. But I can't remember a guy that's been as accomplished as Jalen Hurts in not even a long NFL career yet, and still just be on such a short leash. So when I saw that Marquise Brown was doing this interview ahead of, by the way, his introductory press conference as a member with the Eagles, which I assume will happen today. Yesterday, Jonathan Jones was introduced. Apparently he's a pilot. Apparently he also understands his assignment here in Philadelphia, just kind of be what the team needs him to be. All right. But I assume we'll hear from Marquise Brown today. And by the way, I know everyone calls him Hollywood Brown. I can't do that. There hasn't been a lot of Hollywood around him in his NFL career. So I'm just going to go with Marquise. But anyway, his interview yesterday, I thought was very telling because he said flat out why he signed here. He felt like he had a lot of upside with Jalen Hurts, essentially. Again, one of the top throwers of the vertical route in the NFL. That's great. And when it comes to getting things done, he gets it done. Third down, he gets it done. That's all I need to hear. But the other side of it, for the people that might be, and not me, but the other people that might be in the line of the Jalen Hurts detractors, this is a guy that has played with talent. I mean, it goes without saying. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Marquise Brown has something that he could compare Jalen Hurts to. A pretty high standard. If you want to talk about keeping the main thing, you want to talk about keeping the standard, Marquise Brown, although he might not be an elite top wide receiver in the NFL, he's played with some pretty great quarterbacks. And if he is in this offense with Jalen Hurts, there's going to be something that, I thought this isn't what if this doesn't go well, and this also goes for Sean Mannion, because Marquise Brown has also played with experienced play callers, whether that's Todd Monken, whether that's Andy Reid, for instance, in Kansas City. He's been around. So Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona. if he looks around and goes, well, this quarterback isn't what I thought he was. This offensive game plan isn't what I thought it was going to be. This is bad. We might be able to read the tea leaves with Marquise Brown, maybe even a lot better than we could read the tea leaves with A.J. Brown. Another thing that Marquise Brown was asked about was whether or not when he signed his contract, it was discussed as to whether or not A.J. Brown would be here. And he said, A.J.'s got to do his own thing pretty much. He didn't get into details as to whether or not he was going to be here or not. But he kind of hinted at it's still up in the air. Nothing was confirmed. He didn't say anything that made me think, oh, my God, AJ's gone. Or hey, AJ's definitely back. He's like, yeah, basically anything can happen. Marquise Brown has been in the league a long time now. He can look around and go, oh, this might not be the best possible match made in heaven out there. All right. But does, in fact, hope that he is here and just concerns himself with him and not with anybody else's deal. So there you go. That's basically what I got out of the Marquise Brown interview yesterday. As far as the Jonathan Jones press conference yesterday, all I got out of that was, again, he's a pilot. And I forgot he didn't play, but he was on the roster when Nick Foles and the Eagles beat the Patriots. He was on the Patriots roster. He was hurt. He said he was on a scooter on the sideline. And all of a sudden, the green and black confetti, green, white, and black confetti fell from the sky. And he's kind of trying to, I shouldn't laugh. Guy was hurt. But he's like trying to scooter off the field. I mean, that's just a funny image. Come on now. Trying to scooter off the field is all that was happening. But anyway, he understands the assignment, that he's here to help, not be a star. He wants to continue to help guys like Cooper DeJean grow and guys like Quinyon Mitchell grow, and that's great. Everybody's growing. Fantastic. But then the big story, because there's no sexier position, ladies and gentlemen, than the quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles trade for Andy Dalton. People automatically jump to, what does this mean for Tanner McKee? And look, you have a backup quarterback in Andy Dalton. You knew you had a backup quarterback in Tanner McKee. I don't get the automatic, this guy's out, this guy's in type of thing. Like, oh, now they got Andy Dalton, so automatically they're going to move on from Tanner McKee. I don't think that's the case. I mean, certainly when you have one good backup quarterback, you think the other might be expendable. But Sam Howell is a guy that led the league in passing yards, and he was a third-string quarterback that never saw the field last year. Like, I don't see this as anything different really than what you saw last year. Now, granted, who's had the better career? I mean, it's not even comparable, obviously. But I don't think one means necessarily the other. If it does, well, then at least you got one good backup quarterback here. The other thing that Andy Dalton has is experiences in different offenses. And if he needs someone to speak, not necessarily someone that has worked with Sean Mannion, obviously, or worked with anybody in that system, but at least a guy that has been around the league and seen a lot. So if you need help translating or making things easier for anybody else, yeah, sure, Andy Dalton can do that with his experience, no doubt. I do think it would be wise of the Philadelphia Eagles to try to get more. Let's put it this way. It would be a pretty smart move by Howie Roseman to trade a 7th-round pick for security at the backup quarterback spot, and then be able to trade Tanner McKee for a 4th-rounder, something like that. That would be a wise flip for Howie Roseman. So you still have one position on the roster, on the depth chart, solidified, and now you get an upgraded pick. That would be a pretty smart move by Howie Roseman. The other thing would be finding a trade partner that would take Tanner McKee. And I know everyone wants to look at Tanner McKee and say he's so great, he's all that special. Well, other teams have known he's been around for a minute now. He's going into the final year of his rookie deal. Other teams have known he's here. Haven't really had the trade conversation yet. At least nothing that's been wildly public about that. But it's a smart move by Howie Roseman. And I know a lot of people will always go back to the idea of quarterback factory. Me, not so much, but this is certainly an example of that for Howie Roseman. So, hey, look, if we do hear from Marquise Brown today, I look forward to hearing from him. And then also Andy Dalton. Look forward to hearing from him as well. How dare I? One more thing from Marquise Brown. This has been on my mind really ever since A.J. Brown admitted to still being a Patriots fan, which I still find weird. The first thing was Marquise Brown said that the Eagles were his favorite team growing up. He is from Hollywood, California, or excuse me, Hollywood, Florida. I don't know how the Eagles became his favorite team, but they're his favorite team. He also talked about sticking around in Oklahoma to play with Jalen Hurts when Jalen Hurts was going from Alabama to Oklahoma. That didn't happen. He went into the league. But I do find it interesting that the Eagles were his favorite team growing up. And when he got traded he got picked up by the Kansas City Chiefs, he told Andy Reid immediately, hey, the Eagles were my favorite team growing up, man. So that's nice. Then something else, this just popped in my head because I saw it on, I think it was Instagram yesterday. A.J. Brown was recording something, and it was questions. I think it was questions from fans. And I was like, oh, let's see if there's anything in here. There wasn't really, other than A.J. Brown has gone from, in his interview with Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman, I'm a Patriots fan, to yesterday, it was posted on Instagram on Reels there, I grew up a Patriots fan. And he said the first time Eli Manning beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl with the David Tyree football to the helmet catch, he cried himself to sleep that night. But he shifted from I'm a Patriots fan, big Patriots fan, to I grew up a Patriots fan. And I did a very mild-mannered Leonardo DiCaprio, what is it? The Hollywood, something Hollywood movie that he said it. He went from I am to I grew up. And I'm like, oh, but that signed, sealed, delivered. He's back in Philadelphia in the upcoming season. Anyway, I'm kidding, of course. But I do look forward to hearing what Hollywood Brown has to say. Hopefully later today we'll get that. Another piece of information from yesterday. Do I still have it? I still have it. This is the injury report for your Philadelphia 76ers just a couple of days ago. Oh. Well, yesterday, it got upgraded with one minor change. Joel Embiid has now been upgraded to doubtful for tonight's game against the Sacremento Kings in Sacramento with a 10 o'clock tip-off. Okay. If Joel Embiid is healthy, Joel Embiid plays. That's just very simple. None of us are examining him. None of us are in the locker room there looking at, hey, you gonna play? How's the oblique? Feeling strong? So if he's healthy, then he plays. The only problem with that is I don't know anyone that trusts the 76ers or even trusts Joel Embiid for that matter when it comes to whether or not he's going to be healthy enough to play a basketball game. I'd rather him be upgraded to doubtful than out, of course. But what the priority should be is seeing the ball into the mitt, so to speak. If Joel Embiid is at all, I feel okay. I can play. All right, dude, you sit out. Give me 5 more days. You sit your ass down. You relax. You get to 100%, and you let it rip. If you remember, Drew Hanlon a couple of weeks ago talked about Joel Embiid, saying that if he wasn't 100%, he wasn't going to go. In the past, if he was 75%, he would go. If he was 70%, he would go. If he was 80%, he would go. But now, if he's not 100%, he's not going to go. I hope that's true because I don't want him out there any sooner than he feels healthy. So right now, I don't feel comfortable if he plays tonight. If the line of demarcation that I drew, again, with no medical experience, just on a sense of this makes sense. Joel Embiid before March 25th, when Paul George comes back, I don't see the need to play him. Go for, winning 9 out of 10 to close the season with PG back, with Joel Embiid back, try to close out that season strong. The only reason I say 9 and not 10 games is because you got the one back-to-back remaining on the schedule, and both these guys aren't going to play in that. So why would I even attempt to have him play on the road? Why would I even attempt for him to risk re-injuring anything, especially when it's on the road and not in front of hometown fans, especially when it's a 10 o'clock tip-off like it is tonight, and most of the East Coast is not going to watch it. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. If he's 100% healthy and he feels like he can let it rip, then go out there and let it rip and do your thing. And then help the Sixers hopefully climb out of the play-in tournament. I don't see him doing it, but hopefully they do. Hey, you go through winning 9 out of 10, anything can happen. Yeah, you can certainly make up 2 games in there, like you got to do on the Heat or the Magic, for instance. Go ahead and give that a shot. But I ain't betting on it. Good to see that he's upgraded. Don't have a lot of confidence. The other part of this is that we all know you got to go through that. And I know this is a dirty word for a lot of people, but you got to go through that ramp-up period with Joel Embiid and the 76ers. You got to go through that period of getting back into game shape after not playing for 2 weeks. We were expecting a 3-game layoff here. It's been, 7 or 8 now for him. We know nothing is easy. We know it's never, he comes back and he's great. And this is not me spiking the football. This is only me acknowledging what history has told us with Joel Embiid. And that is, even going back to him coming back from this knee injury, he plays in January. First off, him being ready for the first game of the season is still amazing to me. I know he didn't play well, but he continued to just get better and better from that first game on the season until we get to January, where he all of a sudden just goes to a whole other level, the level of Joel Embiid that we have seen him at when he's at his best. That was January. But the whole time, I'm just waiting for the next thing. And sure enough, we see the next thing. And the next thing, unfortunately, was the oblique injury. And it was a freak thing. He took a knee to the oblique. He toughed it out in that game. And then, of course, he had to miss the last 7-8 games. There's always something else. There's always the next thing. So you go back to other injuries we've suffered through with Joel Embiid, and obviously he's got to get healthy and all that, but man, you wait for the next shoe to drop, unfortunately. The one difference with this year and any other year with Joel Embiid is that supposedly he has taken more responsibility and more accountability for his own well-being, as opposed to trusting any outside sources. And when I say outside, I mean other than him and his personal camp. So who's that mean? The Sixers. Other than trusting the team, he's going and marching to the beat of his own drum. And he said before the season, he was going to take more accountability and more responsibility when it came to being ready to play and being healthy, and more ownership of his injuries and his rehab. So here we are. Looks like he's on the brink of coming back. You're going to have about 12, 13 games left in the season when he comes back. You're not going to have Kelly Oubre. You're going to see him reevaluated again at the end of this week. You're not going to have Tyrese Maxey for another 2 weeks. Paul George is just going to be getting back. It's going to be all about Joel Embiid. It's going to be all about Joel Embiid. It's going to be about the 76ers trying to help him by really him helping the Sixers by getting then open looks, because the Sixers have just been terrible from 3. Quentin Grimes can knock down a 3. Really hasn't done it. As great as he played in back-to-back games against the Nets and then against the Blazers, 28 points, 31 points, just looking as great as he's looked in those games. From 3, he's been terrible. VJ Edgecombe, from 3, terrible. Justin Edwards and Marjon Beauchamp have been your champions of the three-point line. All right, that's not supposed to happen. But maybe you get more open looks for these guys when you get Joel Embiid possibly kicking it out and finding these guys wide open on the perimeter. I just want to see Joel Embiid go out there and do his thing and help this team get off a bit of a schneid that they're on. I know they're coming off the back-to-back games, but seeing them fall into the play-in tournament without Embiid, seeing them not be able to beat a team like the Atlanta Hawks, for instance, is just awful. And you hope that Embiid coming back is going to be that line of demarcation for the 76ers, where all of a sudden they look like a team that can be wildly underestimated as a play-in tournament team. And as I've been saying with this Sixers squad, if they make it into the play-in tournament, there's one silver lining in all of it. If they end up being, in fact, a play-in tournament team. The team that we have seen for the last month of the season is in no way, shape, or form the same team that's going to be playing in that play-in tournament time. You're going to have Maxey back. You're going to have Oubre back. You're certainly going to have Paul George and Joel Embiid back. Those guys playing together and healthy, they're better than a play-in tournament team. That's my feeling. They should make it out of the play-in tournament rather easy, as long as they don't face the Hawks. Ugh. But everybody else, they should make it through rather easy. Go prove it. Now that I've set that bar, prepare yourself for disappointment, because that often seems to be the case with the 76ers. But until then, I'll keep my fingers crossed that they can actually maintain a glimmer of hope that either they'll make it out of the play-in tournament by the time the season's over, or when they get into the play-in tournament, at least they'll make themselves a legitimate playoff team, an actual playoff team, not just a play-in tournament team. So we'll cross our fingers for that. Your Philadelphia Phillies. Yesterday, they lost to the Atlanta Braves, unfortunately. However, Andrew Painter pitched for the Phils, got the start. 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, spring ERA to 2.31. That's the way that one shaped up for the Phillies. There is going to be a departure, unfortunately, for the Phillies. Garrett Stubbs led off yesterday. He was 1 for 5 with a single, 2 strikeouts, sitting 238 in the spring, 333 on base percentage. They had him playing left field the other day. I saw him taking grounders at third the other day. I think that's a wrap for Garrett Stubbs. We already know he's out of options. We know Rafael Marchand's out of options. That's why Stubbs started last year out in the minors. The Vibes Master General, I think his time's done in Philadelphia, unfortunately. And seeing him get looks in left field, seeing him bat at the top of the order so he gets more at-bats, essentially, in what could be his last hurrah last couple of days here. It ain't looking good for Garrett Stubbs. One thing that I did look at from yesterday was Rafael Marchand struggling in the spring. He took the collar yesterday, 0 for 4. His spring average is down to 241. This is a guy that I really hoped would take the ball and run with it last year when Garrett Stubbs started out and played last year in the minor leagues. And unfortunately, it never happened. Rafael Marchand could hit with some pop. We've seen him do that in a short sample size. I think he's a good defensive catcher. I think he's got a good well above average arm. He's going to get that opportunity behind JT Realmuto. I just find myself asking the same question that I asked last year, which was if JT Realmuto is going to catch you 140, 145 games, and he's talked about this earlier in the spring, I mean, is that too much for a guy that's caught a lot of games in what is now a long career in Major League Baseball? Do they get him a break? Will that help JT Realmuto down the stretch? So you get more of that JT that can, hit 275, 280 for a month before those numbers start to dwindle down. The backup catcher has to have a bigger role on this team. And I'm not talking about Rafael Marchand like he's going to be some savior, that he's going to be Johnny Bench all of a sudden or anything like that, or Mike Piazza. Not at all. But just be a guy that can help JT Realmuto be closer to a 270, 275 hitter by the time the season's over. And then fresh in the postseason. That's what I'm asking for when it comes to Rafael Marchand and really the backup catcher position in general. If there was one pleasant surprise from the spring to this point, and again, you got less than a week away before we got opening day, Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott in the very early goings of spring training was hitting 700 Forget what it was, like through his first 5 games or whatever. He was hitting like 700, if not 800. He's on fire, right? I keep on having this thought of, this isn't going to be the year. Like, every year I feel like I have to convince myself that it's going to be the year that Bryson Stott's going to hit 300. You know you're going to get a Gold Glove caliber second baseman in Bryson Stott. You know you're going to get that caliber of glove at second base. We know we're going to get a great approach from Bryson Stott. We know Bryson Stott's going to take the first pitch. We know Bryson Stott's going to work a good count. And then we know Bryson Stott's going to ground out to short. Like, that's unfortunately what we see from Bryson Stott. We know the first month of the season he's going to be great, and then he's going to come back down to earth. I know that he's had injuries as well in recent memory. Last year was supposed to be the year that he came out, was healthy, and he's ready to fire. Well, this year he's hitting 345 in the spring. I'm not going to let myself fall into the Bryson Stott's going to hit 300 this year category. If you look at his last 3 years, Bryson Stott has hit 280, 245, and last year 257. His on-base percentage has gone from 329 to 315 back to 328 this past season. We know he has all the tools. But when it comes to Bryson Stott, for whatever reason, he hits a wall and starts a nosedive. A nosedive at some point in the season. And last year, I mean, it was clear and obvious. Last year, he gets moved in a leadoff spot, and you're talking about a guy in April hitting 314. In May, he only hit 216. Then in June, you see him in the leadoff spot, 202, 194. August back to life. 307 and 313. That is a pretty huge discrepancy. To go from 202 one month, 194 the next month, and then you're above 305 the final 2 months of the season? What? That is bonkers to me. It really goes to show the mental aspect and how it's important in baseball. I mean, really in all sports, but it's so specific in baseball because you're talking about guys that could be phenomenal setup men. And then they just can't pitch in the 9th inning. They can't close the door. They can't be the closer. There is some mental hurdle that is so impossible to get over for some people. Just like Bryson Stott. Hey, you bat me 7th? Oh, crush it, man. You bat me 7th? I'll be incredible. You bat me leadoff. I don't know what a baseball is. What end of the bat do I hold? Okay. Not going to let the year. I'm going to try to do the thing where I don't have expectations. I don't have expectations. Like Alec Boehm hitting 25 home runs. Nope. He's had another good spring, by the way, Alec Boehm. But I'm not going to go into the 25, 30 home runs. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Just do your thing, Alec Boehm. Just hit with runners in scoring position consistently, and we're good. And continue to be a very solid third baseman, which is exactly what Alec Boehm has worked himself into, a very solid third baseman. I don't have heart palpitations when I see a sharply hit ground ball to the left side of the infield. So, Alec Boehm, just keep doing that. And Bryson Stott, let's not be, terrible for about a 3-month period of the season. Cross your fingers for that. Hey, let me tell. Oh! How dare I? I'm just, I'm embarrassed. What can I say? I'm embarrassed. Your Philadelphia Flyers, they get a 3-2 victory in overtime. They're a big fan of overtime and shootouts as of late. Flyers improved to 32, 23, and 12 on the season. Noah Cates gets the overtime goal on a deflection. Nice to see that for Noah Cates. Cutter Gauthier. Sorry, everybody. Goal and assist for the Ducks last night. Wah, wah. Zegras do anything against his old club? Yeah, no, he's just a +1. Come on now. Anyway, Flyers get the win. Nice to see. Hey, let me tell you about the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase on the Gametime app. Want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show? Gametime app has you covered. So download the Gametime app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase on the Gametime app. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how your wonderful people are doing on this fine Thursday morning. April. Hello. Not 7:07. Sorry. We should get people. We should get a betting app on that. We'll get my bookie on that one. April, good morning, by the way. Leave me alone. Hello. 17 for the win. Sean Gillespie, good hustle. Roll with 7:07 one more time. Sean Gillespie, hello. He was born in Hollywood, Florida. Yes. Confused by the Andy Dalton trade? 7th round pick? I mean, not much to it. They get a good quarterback. The team needed another ginger. Sam Howell signed with the Cowgirls. Yeah, he's not here. I was just talking about last year. Like, he was a quarterback that led the league in the passing yards, and he was your backup. He was a guy who never saw the field, 3rd-string quarterback. And you even drafted a quarterback with Kyle McCord out of Syracuse by way of Ohio State. Morning, Farzy. Maybe they're bringing in Andy Dalton to take Tanner McKee a better quarterback. To make Tanner McKee a better quarterback. Maybe. Jason A. Hello. Good morning. Sean Gillespie is Hollywood's favorite team because the Dolphins had sucked since Marino left. That's a good point. Yeah, trying to put myself in his shoes for a second there. Yeah. Marino's last year was what, 99? Yeah, he's 28. Hollywood Brown's 28 years old. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. No one watches the Sixers. Well, especially 10 o'clock start times. Oh, Sean, you got a lot here. Okay. Eagles currently have a sixth most cap space in the NFL. Titans, Chargers, Commanders, Cardinals, 49ers, Eagles at just under $39 million. AJ Brown said he wants Hollywood Brown said he wants AJ here, but his answer basically screamed he's not going to be here, even though he doesn't say it. Yeah, it definitely leaves the door wide open for him to leave. If I had to read anything out of it, it's definitely that Hollywood Brown does not think AJ Brown will be here. That's definitely what I get out of it. Wow, Jason, I almost missed the Ben Simmons 76ers with Tobias that year. Number 1 seed for a while. I mean, I missed the Jimmy Butler Sixers, and I know that was just a flash in the pan. They got Jimmy Butler in November, and then they lose on the quadruple doink from Kawhi. That was my favorite Sixers team of the post-process era. Grimes has not been as good as we expected. Absolutely. But Grimes is he other than that game against the Nuggets 2 days ago, he had been getting points as the leader of the offense essentially. But then nobody got anything except Marjon Beauchamp against the Nuggets. I do not see the 76ers extending Quentin Grimes. Jay is also excited for Andrew Painter, as am I. Wayne, go Birds, go Birds. CM Punk, hello. Soccer, hopefully this new, quote, offense will use a third wide receiver. Yeah, I hope so. That'd be nice. Keep spreading the ball around. I'd like that. I did see this, Sean Kilrain. Jared McCain, 26 points. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 of 16 shooting. 28 minutes. Yep. That's pretty good. Look, the Daryl Morey botched it. The ownership botched it by not wanting to go above, pay the tax. They want to deduct the tax, right? It's not a good move. It was a bad trade at the time. It's still a bad trade. If Jared McCain would have continued with the Sixers and continue to be very inconsistent, then I could get flipping them in the offseason for a first-round pick. I could somewhat understand that. But he was shooting 48% from three. 48%. And the thought was, we're selling high. Well, I agree you're selling high at 48%, but even if he only shoots 40% in the next month, that's still pretty damn good. A guy coming off the bench shooting like that. Let me see this. Because I think he's continued doing that. Yeah, 29 minutes, excuse me. Did I read that right? 29 minutes, okay. 29 minutes, 26 points, 9 of 16, 5 of 9 from 3. Jared McCain, as many of us thought, doing great. So January he shot 48% or 45%. Leading up to the trade deadline in February, he was shooting 48%. March, all 9 games, obviously, with OKC, 47% post All-Star break. Oh, excuse me. Miss Cusi. Here we go. 46% in February, 43% in March is what he's doing from 3. That was field goal percentage I was looking at. 48% in January, 46 in February, 43 in March. Oh, man, he's on the decline. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty special. Also back to averaging double digits in scoring. Since the All-Star break, he's averaging 12 points a game. 12.7, actually. Not cool. Not cool. Sean Cohen, just thought I'd put that out there for Maury. Yeah, I don't blame you. Andy Dalton, a dirt cheap contract. Yep. Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch Lane yet on Fitz and Wit. I saw that he did a podcast. I have not watched it yet. That's next on the list. It's going to go down to as one of the worst trades in Sixers history. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Oh, you didn't value that late first-round pick that they got back from the no? Okay, anyway. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great, as per usual. Time for the Morning Rush, brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Your Philadelphia Flyers, after coming up with a 3-2 win in overtime yesterday, they're right back at it tonight. Continue that West Coast trip. They got a 10:30 puck drop against the Kings. That's the way that one works. And then tonight, your Philadelphia 76ers tip off at 10 o'clock in Sacramento against the Kings, Sixers, and Flyers in California. And Joel Embiid is listed as doubtful. He was out, upgraded to doubtful. Let's see if that trend continues tonight and he could cook against the Sacramento Kings. Also, I'm assuming later today we will at some point hear from Marquise Brown on what's going down with his introduction to the Philadelphia Eagles media and the Philadelphia Eagle fan base. Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock today, me and Keith Pompey break it all down for you when it comes to your 10-9-8 76ers on Locked On 76ers. And then noon today, me, Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, Louis DiBiase have your Locked On Eagles squad show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to that. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the Farzy show, especially ahead of tomorrow, where we're going to be starting at 7:03 on the dot. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. My name is Mark Farzetta. Jason and I have had this thought as well. What is crazy is Maury has been good at drafting. Yeah, like Jared McCain or Tyrese Maxey, for instance. Put out start time. Guess and hit the like button. Here you go. Put out start time. Guess. Yeah. 7:03. 7:03 for a Friday edition of the Farzy Show. Thanks for watching. We will see, Sean Gillespie. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. Catch you guys later on today. Locked on 76ers at 10. Locked on Eagle Squad Show at noon. See you guys then. Bye.